How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope all is well. Gratitude to all. Opetaia retains his IBF cruiserweight title in sensational fashion, really. Barely getting out of gear too. I mean, he looked absolutely unbeatable in that division. Jack Massey, tough, brave kid, had the corner throw in the towel. Joe Gallagher threw in the towel, rightfully so. Just an absolutely dominating performance from Jack Massey. I personally thought it was going to go to points. I thought Jack Massey would be a little bit too cagey. I didn't realise Opetaia would be as aggressive. I thought he might try to box a bit more, but because he is so talented, and the gap in skill and technique, poise, power, you know, you can't get somebody like that at bay. You know, it's like, you know, when you watch a football game or a game where you have just a really good team against an alright team, and they just have the ball within the first minute, and you just can tell that they're just gonna have the ball and they're gonna do what they want. That was watching that with Jack Massey. He could just walk Massey down, comfortable. And I talked about the lead left hand to the body, right, a lot, because it was definitely right, because Massey likes to move. I had a feeling he'd be on the ropes and backing up quite a bit. I didn't think he would come out to fight that early, which he didn't in this, but I was like, you know, left hands to the body is definitely there, but what Jack Massey was doing so well was just mixing that left hand up, right? He would shoot it downstairs. His punches, I was watching it, I had my headphones on, and I could hear the crack like that. I was like, jeez, like, you know, his technique is getting even better. You know, his sharp, hard, crisp, powerful, sturdy, hard, big man power is sensational. It really is. His balance and his base and his shape, he never is out of position. And there were, if you look, maybe the first Breeders fight, where, you know, he was kind of bouncing a bit more in that, but I think he's just so much more poised, and boom, he was just shooting off these shots. Uppercuts to Massey's kind of stomach area, straight lefts over the top, uppercut left, like his combination variation, southpaw boxing. Andy Lee spoke about that at the end of the fight. It's really like foot positioning, lead hand control, poise, power. I mean, just like Chris Billam-Smith and Ramirez are fighting soon. He's going to fight the winner of that, it sounds like it. I mean, they are in for one hell of a reward. I mean, I just can't see any of those guys beating Jai at all, getting anywhere close to beating him. But they got to fight the fights eventually, but that's got to happen first, and then hopefully we can get that announcement for the cruiserweight undisputed fight, because none of those guys stand a chance based off of that performance. One thing that I thought was really interesting, which, you know, Jack Massey had a couple of moments in the third and fourth where he just landed sneaky counter punches. And I mentioned pre-fight, he's a sneaky fighter, right? He'll throw in sneaky shots like he did a couple of times. Maybe Jai just kind of walked in a little bit too casually, but Massey, really, that's the only success he had. And as soon as he did that, Jai's dad in the corner said to him, he's like, counter the counter, right? Now, for anybody that doesn't know what that means, I'll try and break it down quickly. So, like, Jack Massey's looking to counter you, all right, in moments where, you know, like, whether it be a pure counter shot off of you punching, or where he just sees, you know, like, you know, just a move to counter punch you. So what you try to do is you try to draw in that shot, right? So you try to draw in that shot, right? So you're trying to draw him in, knowing that he's going to counter. So then you counter his counter, which is exactly what happened when he landed that right hook, right? I'll try to find this clip, because I you know, sometimes I'm not allowed to put these clips up, and I actually got a 90-day copyright strike once I did it, so I've got to be careful. But basically, just straight away, Jai was like, led with a shot, right? I think it might have been a right, it might have been a right, I can't remember, but Massey then countered, right? Giant blocked it, then hit him with the right hook. And that is countering the counter. And that's exactly what his dad told him to do, which basically started a big, that was in the fourth or fifth. It rocked Massey and pushed him back to the ropes. And it was just like, well, I mean, the writing was on the wall really after the second or third, in the sense that you think, how is Massey going to win this? You know, but beast. He mentioned he'd had this is a hard, not a hard camp, but he puts himself into places like mentally where that's the kind of performance you get when you train as hard as he does. Yeah, it's just amazing. You know, it really is. It's amazing. It's a blessing to the sport to watch performances like that and watch fighters like that get the best out of themselves. I've said it so many times on this channel, which is why I'm so high on this guy and the fighters that I follow. Tim Tszyu, Bud Crawford, you know, like there's several others. Xander Zayas now, to be honest with you, really tried. There's loads of other fighters too, Liam Parra, you know, I could go on and on. Not on and on, but there's a several select few that I'm like, wow. You really try to get the best out of yourself, you know, and it's very, very admirable, because it's the hardest sport in the world, and you're doing that, and you are just not content with what you're doing. I know he has some criticisms for the Breeders 2 fight, you know, but, you know, he just looked flawless, didn't he? Flawless. Those shots were just, man, stinging power. I really focus on power and technique. You know, I've been really studying it for a while. And, you know, I've been boxing a bit myself, and I've just been teaching a little bit myself. So I really, it's something that I really want the channel to kind of focus a bit more on. Punching technique. His technique is amongst the best in the sport, and I do mean that. It is solid, sharp. He's not out of position. He's powerful. And he's got God-given power as well. Crisp, turns his shots and snaps them. And he's got some serious juice on it, right? And he mixes it up. And the variation and the poise and the power that comes with that is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful sight, and it is a joy to watch. And like I said, I do not see anybody getting close to beating him at cruiserweight. We'll see what happens, you know, once he does clean out the division. I'll be absolutely shocked if he doesn't win the undisputed title, but he's got to do it, obviously. His dad's back in his corner, and look at it again, he didn't really get out of gear too. I think I mentioned that. It was just an absolutely sensational, punch-perfect performance. Can't really say much to Jack Massey. He just got outgunned and outskilled in every single department, which, you know, I guess looking back, I wonder why I thought it would go to points. I just thought he had a knack for survival. I knew he was tough, and I knew he would be defensively on the back foot and try to be, you know, and there were moments he definitely was, but Opetaia was so sharp and accurate with those shots, you know, and it's only a matter of time. It's like when Barcelona, back to that analogy, when Barcelona have got the ball, or a really good football team and they've got the ball, it's just a matter of time before they score, because you couldn't soak up that pressure for so long, because the other team isn't as talented. You know, they're just not as talented, and they're just not as good. He's just a special fighter. Jack Massey is a special kid. He's a special fighter, and we're gonna have an absolute joy watching his development. And any minute, maybe any challenges if he can get any. You know, like obviously the Breeders 1 fight was a pretty good challenge for him, but you know, outside of that, I can't, unless moving up in weight. I don't know about the Bridgerweight. I don't know how you guys feel about that division. I personally think they should get rid of it, to be honest. Since its inception, it hasn't really done anything for me, and there's just not enough fighters, I think, that can make it interesting for me. You know, I couldn't even really name you. I know Okoli was a champion, I think. Maybe that's my fault, but I'm not such a big fan on the Bridgerweight. I think they should just be done with it. But can he go up to heavyweight? Absolutely. You know, I know he's not the biggest, like in terms of height. Was he 6'2"? But my gosh, with his skills and his ability, footwork, like timing, accuracy, will to learn, he's going to be a handful. Do you know? He's going to be a handful. I mean, imagine him. Obviously, there was talks about better beer than Bebo, but you know, we'll see. But like for now, congratulations to Jack Opetaia. I hope Jack Massey's okay. You know, it's always nice to see the good sportsmanship at the end, and just, you know, really, even though it was one-sided, I really enjoyed watching that just from a technical point of view. Big up Jack Opetaia. Shout out to all the Aussies locked in. Thank you, as always. Really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers, as always. Peace and love to all. If you are new, hit the subscription, hit the like button. I'm all over the place with my videos, to be honest with you, you know, but I do focus in on real fighters that get the best out of themselves, that fight with spirit and heart and power and technique, and, you know, he covers all of that. And I'll be making a lot more videos. I want to do I've talked about doing a scientific video on Tim Tszyu. I definitely will do one on Jack Opetaia, because his punch technique is getting even better. It's just so sharp and just like, wow. I've done a couple before on actually Subriel Matias and Amanda Serrano, and they're like, you know, deep dives into just from the kinetic chain, which is an energy that comes through your body, the muscle groups involved, the torque. All right, the wrist flexors and wrist extensors, the rotator cuff, all the muscles that play a part, and where the energy starts and how it's transferred and weight transfer. You know, I'll go real deep into it. I love it. It's a real passion of mine. I feel like I've been rambling a little bit. 11 minutes 55, not too bad. I'm very passionate about boxing, but especially when I see a performance like that with the kind of technique that, you know, most people would die for, to be honest with you. Anyway, shout out to Jack Opetaia. Amazing performance. What an amazing fighter. That's it from me. Thanks for watching.